What up, guys? I'm Caiden. You've probably seen me on YouTube. I have like 10,000 subscribers on YouTube. I do coaching on Cubing GG. I'm from the States, Washington State more specifically, specialize in 3x3. And I've been cubing for since 2021. Big 3x3 guy, don't do any other events. And really big on ZB. I use full ZB. And yeah, you probably just see my face all over the place. I mean, I like consuming YouTube content. I usually comment on all the videos. So, but yeah, that's basically who I am and love cubing. It's an awesome hobby.
Okay, cool. Tell me about how your practice is going, because you haven't competed in a minute. And last you were on the channel, you were talking with Dylan about look ahead, and you were talking about I'm training ZBLSs and I'm training these last layer prediction things. Where are you at home right now, and what are you working on?
Yeah, so I did this. I did a series that I started. It was like Road to Sub 6 series. I did one episode, and I haven't even posted part 2, and that was I think that was back in October. So a little bit of an update on that. For people who don't know, I play football, American football. So where you're tackling people and stuff. And I tore my labrum during the football season. I only got half a season. And I posted that video right before I tore my labrum. And after my labrum, I had to get surgery. So I wasn't cubing for a while. And then so that really hurt my practice. And then I competed a little bit after I tore my labrum, and I did really bad in comp. And that really demotivated me, and I didn't practice for a while. And then I didn't make a sub 6 video for a while. And yeah, basically, I'll just talk about what my practice has been like on here. So
yeah,
I would like to say that it's been structured, but honestly, it's not really been that structured. When I did that podcast with Dylan, I was doing a lot of very intensive training. And then since then, I have not. I started actually back up about a couple, 3 or 4 days ago, started retraining my last layer again. I think the main thing was I was doing such intensive training, I was getting super demotivated. And the thing that I love about cubing is just solving and chilling. So I basically all of January and February, half of January I spent in Hawaii on a family trip. So I didn't cube at all then.
That's fun.
And then I wanted to get back into cubing, but not do intensive training. So basically, yeah, all of February, all of January, not really much training, just solves. And I don't think I got any better, but I definitely didn't get worse. Still hovering around that low 6 to high 6, just depends on the day kind of stages. But for training, I'm trying to make it so I can recognize ZBLL from every single angle. So what a lot of people talk about, like Timon and Shwani, they say you need a recognition angle. So for L cases, I recognize from this angle normally, but I'm trying to learn how to recognize from this angle back here. And if I'm able to recognize from all angles, I'll have a way shorter pause when I do ZBLOs. Shwani is known for being very good at this. Timon's pretty good at it. And I'm trying to do that too, because I'm probably wasting about 0.3 to 0.5 by double recognizing my ZBLO. So doing that, I talked, we had the conversation with Dylan talking about how prediction's more important than look ahead, yada, yada. I've actually been doing, and of course, we came to the conclusion look ahead and prediction are the same thing. Look ahead's the bridge to prediction. So I've been practicing a lot of look ahead recently and just practicing my flow and my solves. And that means I haven't been practicing a lot of prediction. So some days I'll be really good at prediction, and some days I'll be all right, I just need to rely more on look ahead. But it hasn't been I've been doing structured practice for that. It's just I'm doing solves, and I'm either just focusing on look ahead or focusing on prediction. So honestly, really chill, not really much going on with my practice, not really as structured as maybe some people think it is. It's just like every other cuber, doing a couple hundred solves a day.
Gotcha.
And some days I don't even do solves. I'm just I hate cubing, I don't want to cube right now. So and then you said I haven't been to a comp in a while. Yeah, I have a comp in 2 months. No, 1 month. It is March. It's kind of crazy. Comp next April. So looking forward to that. I don't really have any goals. I realize I do my best when I just want to have fun, and that's what I love about cubing. So I'm just looking forward to having fun. And that's pretty much what my regimen is going my training regimen. But yeah, it's kind of it.
Nice. Okay, cool. What year are you in high school now?
I'm a junior, so 17 years old. that most people are like, oh, you're 17, you're young, but like I feel like I'm unk in the cubing space. Like I feel like my cubing career's over. Like there's no way I'm gonna get even any faster. So that's also another thing. Like I feel like so depressed because not like I'm not actually depressed. I'm so happy. I love my life. But like I feel like I'm
Right,
like
right.
there's no like I'm not gonna improve at cubing. I feel like I've just hit a wall and I'm not 8 years old and I'm just cooked. And yeah, it kind of sucks. Like how do you deal with that being like, I mean, how old are you right now?
I'm 22.
So 22, how do you deal with the like I'm unk, like I'm not improving, like kind of mindset? Because I'm kind of in that mindset, and I'm only 17.
I mean, did you watch the video that I uploaded yesterday?
It's literally on my Google. I was gonna watch it before we started recording.
Yeah.
But then
okay.
I was playing games with some friends.
The TLDR is, I don't think that the finals goal is actually achievable for me, because from looking at my rate of improvement, when I started, I was like, oh, if I work a lot, I'll improve fast or fast enough. And I've been working a lot and not improving in time. My quality has definitely gone up, but I hadn't ever exposed myself to that amount of cubing volume. And so from talking to Dylan and talking to Jack Pfeiffer and stuff, I was like, man, these guys are training the same amount or more as me. And both of them are not the absolute best in class, but they're very close. And they have substantially more obvious natural ability than me. So I don't think that it's even achievable for me to make finals. Cubing is getting competitive enough, and the kids are young enough that for a lot of events, you do have to just like have a gifting and combine it with a bunch of effort. My mental model for this is there's talent and there's hard work. You have to have hard work to accomplish anything. Talent is a multiplier on your work. So if you think about it like a X and a Y axis thing, for every, like if you can rate your talent on a scale of 1 to 10, let's say you're a 5 out of 10 on talent. If you put in 5 out of 10 on your effort, you're going to get like 25 of results. That's like an average person putting in average work. An average person putting in crazy hard work, like a 10 out of 10 on work, is going to get like a 50 out of 100 on results, which is better than if you worked average. But somebody who has 10 out of 10 in talent, who's the most naturally gifted person ever, could put in medium work and get the same results as somebody working super hard. So hard work is required, but talent makes your effort go further. And I don't think I have as much talent as I would need to make my work go far enough that I could get those results. On top of that, some of the reasons I started on the grind were I thought that I could get the feeling of winning from it, and I don't think I will, because there will always be people way better than me in cubing. So that's no longer a good reason. And I thought that working hard toward the ultimate like final would make me more motivated to do my day job, to be a good husband, that sort of thing. And as it turns out, what it's actually done is subverted those things a little bit. Like I'll put a bunch of effort into cubing, and then I don't want to go work as hard at something else. So I would rather be in line with my main priorities than be in line with getting into a final. So there's a few different reasons. I explain all of it in the video. So what I'm going to do instead is just do a different event every 8 weeks and do like an 8-week sprint of one event for like an hour and a half a day, post an update each week, get coaching, record the coaching on it, and kind of upload a little tutorial at the end of it too about here's what I learned, here's how I would recommend going from beginner to like semi-decent, and then do it again and again if I am enjoying it. Because the things that people like about my YouTube and about me are not the grinding, it's the perspectives on stuff, and it's the interviews. And I don't think people come to me because of my credibility as a competitor. So those were all different things I've been thinking about. I explained it in the video. So I have a poll up right now on that video for where people can vote on what event I should do. And I got nervous because I woke up this morning and Clock was like double the votes of anything else.
Oh no.
Right now, Clock and 3 Blind are literally tied at like 50 votes each. They both have 22% of the vote. So yeah, we'll see.
But then you also got to remember,
like,
like, YouTube is not like the most credible option. You got like all these like 10, 11-year-olds that are like, do Clock. They're like just trying to troll you. And then you got like people who like actually just want you to do Clock. But like okay, I'm just going to be honest. I love your content right now. I don't know what I would like think of watching Clock content, because I don't watch any Clock content. Like I mean, maybe if you made some, I would watch more clock content, but I would definitely more appreciate your stuff. Like if you like big cubes or more sprint event, I guess you could consider clock a sprint event, but like,
Well, I'll do all of them. But the thing is, I know essentially nothing about clock. And there's this, I thought about this morning. There's this kind of sentiment in cubing that like clock sucks just because it sucks. And there's a sense in which that's right. The depth in the event is really narrow. But for, 7, 8 videos, I could at least explain it reasonably well and make it kind of interesting. And then it would be over. And then I would be on to doing, Megaminx or something. And then you'd be interested again. Not every person has to be interested in 100% of the things I make. The philosophy I have about that is some of the most, the content creators I respect the most, they say, I want 10% of my audience to love 1 out of every 10 things I put up. What I don't want is for 80% of my audience to kind of like everything I put out. I would rather have each thing be a super strong match with a subset of my audience than have mediocre matches across more people. So I'm okay with it if you don't want to watch clock content. That's fine. I'll keep putting out the podcast and keep doing other stuff. But
yeah,
we'll see.
Yeah, I like that. I like that philosophy. I feel like what I try to do too much, especially in my videos, is I try to make my videos applicable to everyone, but then I won't go as deep in certain concepts, specifically like maybe like solution finding, like when I do reconstructions or like different things you could do with ZB. And that takes away from the video. Yes, it makes it more applicable, but I don't have people who like love the content. Like it's just like everyone kind of likes it. And that's what I respect most about you is like you have such a good, strong audience, I feel like. Like, how many subs are you at right now? 2,000?
Somewhere in the 2000s.
Yeah. So, like, you have a very strong audience for your subscriber count. Like, I feel like you have a lot of engagement. Everyone comments on your videos, and you get very consistent view counts. And I feel like that stems from a strong audience that you have. And I find that super cool that you're able to do that. And like you're able to make content about anything like podcasts, cube reviews, and lots of different things. So yeah, I think like the style that you're going for a strong kind of community. Really inspiring. It's cool.
It's different though. We're doing this video this way because it's super chill and not a ton of people will want to watch it. This is not going to crack hundreds of thousands of views, but there will be a specific set of people who really enjoy having this on while they solve or while they're on a drive to a competition. That's great. I don't want to be for everybody. I want to be really good for a specific subset of people. I talked about this some with Tingman. Tingman was like something that I had to wrestle through with my content creation was that a lot of people who watch cubing content are just young kids. And I didn't want to think that, but it's just true. And if I wanted to get more views, which pumps ad revenue, which is how I can provide for my family, I have to make content that caters more toward that, right? And I had to think through that and go, okay, so do I want this to be a job from ad revenue and such, or do I want it to stay a hobby that I'm really enjoying? And I think the latter, which means I have the freedom to make content that very narrowly targets a specific audience, which then means I can, like you said, get good engagement from that core group of people who want to keep coming back. And then I can get podcast guests on who are really good at cubing because they really like the stuff that I do. And it's a positive loop.
Yeah. And I'm like at that like midlife crisis where I don't know if I would rather cater to like younger kids and get more views or cater to like the older cubers that are more like in the cubing community. Cause like one is if I cater to like ones that are more in the cubing community, I can like promote my coaching more and people are like that builds my credibility, but it won't get as many views. So maybe it might not reach as many people. But then if I like cater my content towards kids, people might find it more cringy because like let's be honest, like kids content is a little bit more cringy and older people don't want to watch that, and that makes it so like I can't promote my coaching as much because like the 8-year-olds that watch the content aren't going to buy coaching, their parents might, so that's like a whole different market. But like yeah, it's like, I don't know which one I should choose. So I'm like, and that's also one of the reasons why I haven't posted in so long. Cause I'm just like, I'm so split on what I want to do. Cause I want to do both. I want views, but I also want I want to explain ideas more in depth and talk a lot about different things. How do you think I should like handle and go about that?
Why do you want to make YouTube videos at all?
So like when I first started YouTube, obviously like the first one was I wanted to be famous because that's cool, especially to like young 11-year-old Caiden. But as I've gone about making videos is I want to inspire people, and I want people like based on my videos for people to want to like, cause I'm in the cubing niche, want to get more into cubing and get faster. And like one of the things I did when I first started my channel is I started making ZB videos, which I still do to this day because I'm passionate about ZB. And so many people have came to me, hey, I started learning ZB or I love ZB because of you. And that's like the coolest thing to me. I just like the impact that I can make upon people with my content. That's for sure the number one thing.
Impact on people. Okay. And by impact, do you mean they thought it was entertaining, or you mean they changed how they solve, or what does the word impact mean?
And yeah, that's like what I'm trying to figure out. I don't know if because I want my content to be entertaining, but I also want it to change how people solve. But like entertaining content usually doesn't make it so that it impacts people solves. For you and me, we are entertained by like high level solving, watching like 10 of Shwani solves in slow motion, like on the Cubing GG channel. Or let's say Dylan Miller breaks down world record average, it's very minimal edits, but we are entertained by that. But majority of people aren't entertained. So like, yeah, I'm just like, I think what I mean by entertained is people changing how they solve, or not entertained, how the impact. When I want to impact people, I want them to change how they solve and kind of change to become a better version of themselves.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So if you made a video, it got 1,000 views, but you knew you got 10 people who booked a coaching session with you, are you happy or frustrated?
I'll be honest, I think I am frustrated because I should be happy because coaching is probably the number one thing that impacts people, because I get to have these one-on-one conversations and get people faster at cubing. But I've always been a YouTube kid. Like view count is like, I've basically wired my brain that view count is the number one thing to my, like that means I'm successful. Like my best video, in my opinion, is not even my most viewed video. It has like 20,000 views. And my most viewed video, I don't think is my best video by far either. But my most viewed video, for some reason in my brain, I think it's so much better than my other videos just because it has a view count behind it. But if I just look at the video, it's not that good. So like I posted a video about Shwani's world record average. It got like 7,000 views. And for me, I'm not that happy with that. I want like usually over 10,000 views when I post. So I considered that video like really bad. But watching back the video, I think it's one of my better videos, especially editing wise.
That was a very high quality video.
Oh yeah, thank you. But I think I've gaslit myself into thinking it's a bad video, because every time I see the view count, I'm like, oh, terrible video. But I would be willing to say that video is better than my most viewed video, which has 200,000. So I think it's just, I need to rewire
when you say the word
my brain.
better, how are you arriving at that word? Are you saying it's better because the quality of the thing is better? Or do you have another number you're looking at?
I think when I say better, it's like, oh, it's more entertaining, or the editing's better. That's what I define better. So if I'm like, this video is better than this video.
Okay.
Yeah. So like, example, like if you look at a Mr. Beast video now to a Mr. Beast video 5 years ago, his videos are better now because the storytelling's better, editing's better, and he spends more money. That's what I would define like better.
Okay. I do not think that way. Here's how I think about this. This might help you. You don't have to think this way. The reason the view thing is so easy to think about is because it's the number that you can see. What gets measured gets managed is a business saying. So if I want to lose weight, I should step on the scale every morning, because then there's a clear number of my scoreboard. And guess what I care about? That. If I want to get stronger and don't care about my weight, I should not be stepping on the scale. All I should be doing is lifting weights and tracking that. And I will get way heavier, but that shouldn't bother me if my only goal is getting stronger. If I'm balancing both, I need to have a number for both. So with YouTube, the one number that most people can see is view count. And it's super easy to optimize toward. View count is tricky though, because it's such a vague number. You can have a video that has 1,000 views, but if those 1,000 views are all the best cubers in the world and they love the content, you're fine with that because you didn't get a bunch of the kids who just spam the view count up. So how do you tell? What other number are you going to look at? There's a few different numbers that you can do. Personally, my number is how many direct messages I get. So videos where I post it and I start getting Discord messages or emails, I'm like, this was a good one. People liked it enough that they reached out specifically. So my best videos, I've gotten over 30 DMs on Instagram, Discord, and email. And I know that people watched it and it affected them enough that they wanted to reach out to me specifically.
That is
other
a
people
good
I've
metric,
seen,
though.
Other people I've seen track some business thing. So if you're a business person and you're creating content to drive people to some product, you do not care about the views on the video. All you care about is how many people click on the link to my landing page. So if coaching was your end goal, you shouldn't worry about video views. You should have a different link under each video, and you should just see how many people click this particular link. And then you can see, oh, that video drove 50 people to my coaching. So another metric that's helpful for me on this is subscribers per video. You can see this in YouTube, what videos drive new subscribers to my channel. The highest one for me was the one about how to get better as an adult cuber. The ratio's 4x, my next one, because people watched it, enjoyed it, were like, this guy is interesting, he impacted me, I'm going to subscribe to see more of his stuff. So it totally depends on the thing that you care about. So if you're a YouTube kid and you care about people watching your videos and finding it impactful, then what I would do is I would have some sort of call to action in your video that people who really enjoy your content can engage with you on. So maybe that's follow me on Instagram. Maybe that's join a Discord community or something. So that way you can see who's watching this video and who's enjoying it enough, they're going to go do something else. Or maybe you track likes. Maybe you just need something other than views. Otherwise, you're going to be like, I shouldn't care about views. But you have no other thing that you're looking at that you can get excited about.
Yeah. And I think that thing for me would definitely be coaching. I find so much joy that comes from coaching. One, it's my job. It makes me money. And that's obviously a good thing. Like, who doesn't like making money? But a second thing is the connection I can build with my students is like unlike anything else. Like, I can't build that connection with my viewers as much as I can build with my students. Like, it's 10, 30 minutes or 1 hour, however long it is, of just us just talking, analyzing their solves. And I'm putting all my attention into their solves. And they feel like they're like super special because I'm putting all my attention towards them. And I feel awesome because I'm helping them get better, which, as I said, that's one of my favorite things about cubing is helping people get better. And I think if I like started just like tracking, like, okay, I post a video, how many sessions get purchased within like a week of buying it, then I think that would be like a better metric. Or putting a link in the description, like you said, and seeing how many people click on it. Yeah,
you could do that. You could also ask the person, how'd you find this? What did you do to decide to book this? There's a few ways to do it. But if that is what you care about, then track that. That I just want to double check. Earlier you said if I made 1,000 view video, but I got 1% of people to book a coaching session, I would be frustrated. So do you actually care primarily about coaching?
I should. And honestly, that would be phenomenal. 1,000 view video with 10 sessions, that's 1%. That is like really great numbers. If I got 1% of viewers to buy a coaching session on every video, phenomenal numbers. But the reason why I might feel frustrated is just because my brain is just YouTuber brain. And I've just trained it to be that way since I was 11, 12 years old when I started YouTube. And I've consumed hundreds of hours of Mr. Beast podcasts and YouTube improvement podcasts. And it's all just view focused. And now I just need to rewire my brain into thinking, all right, it's not about the views. It's about how many people I can interact with and have this, build this special connection with.
Yeah.
So like
just
if I could get
the brain.
1%
new content,
would
new
be
sources.
insane.
Yeah. Great. Well, then track that.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to do that moving forward. So I actually want to shift topics. I want to talk a little bit about your boot camp. So I haven't heard you talk much about it. I don't know if you talked about it in your last video because I didn't watch it yet. I I was one of the speakers there. I really enjoyed speaking. Tell me about it. Well, I want to hear, what was like the coolest thing that you learned about hosting a boot camp?
Yeah. I've intentionally kept it on the down low because I'm not doing this channel to make tons of money, at least not at this point. I'm like kind of testing things and seeing if people want it. And what I don't want to do is be like a course bro who's just shilling a paid product. If I make something that I think will really help cubers and money is the way to do that, then great. But my experience with bootcamp was there were 3 subsets of people within the camp. There were super devoted people who did everything and they loved it. About a third of the people, they did all the practice. They came to every session. They texted me questions during the boot camp. They submitted videos of their solves. They interacted with me the whole time. And that was great. Like that was what they were supposed to do. They had written access. They came to the video things and they improved a ton. The quality of their solves, just crazy improvement. And they were super happy with it. But they also knew at the end of it, they were like, well, this was because I put the work in. And I was like, exactly. That was the point of boot camp. It was give you resources to make your work more effective. There was a third of people who essentially didn't touch it. So they joined, they submitted their solves on the front end. They never asked me any questions. They didn't submit their solves for critique halfway through the boot camp, and they just stopped interacting, which is okay. Lots of people buy books and don't read them. So I figured that's up to them, which was a little odd. And then there was another third of people where it was kind of a middle ground where they didn't really do lots of work, but they also didn't disengage. So they were just kind of annoyed that they weren't improving, but they didn't practice a ton. So I had a lot of fun with the first group of students. The second group of students didn't bother me. And the third group of students was a little odd for me because I want to help them. But number one, I can't help for free. So several of those people reached out to me after boot camp ended and was like, I didn't improve very much. And it was like, well, you had a month to ask me questions or submit videos or whatever. So I understand if you were busy, right? But we need to keep it within boot camp. And also, you told me yourself that you didn't work very much on it. So that was the biggest thing, is there was a split of types of students. The second thing I realized is that having other people around you who are working together makes it so much more motivating. The people who improved the most were the people who talked to the other cubers in the group a lot and gave feedback to other people, because then they built these like mutual relationships where I'm solving and I know this other guy is solving and I'm going to comment on his thing, he's going to comment on my thing, and it made him really motivated.
Yeah.
And then the other thing was just that improvement in results takes a long time. Most of the people I talked to had similar issues, and most of the people who put the work in massively improved the quality of their solves, but their times didn't change very much because they shifted from being spam TPS and pause to smooth look ahead, but the time didn't drop. They shifted from inefficient solutions to, one guy had smart cube sessions from the beginning and the end of boot camp. He literally shaved off 15 moves per solution and he averaged 16.
Wow.
Huge improvement in efficiency,
really
because
good.
we went through all his F2L solutions. We optimized all of them. He did so well. But his times didn't go down very much. And he was like, I can tell I got insanely better and I dropped like a second, but I can also tell there's more coming. So there's just a big lag between when you put in intentional work and when you get the results out. So
and like
I had a
another
lot of
thing
fun
is,
with it.
yeah, that's awesome. Another thing is like a month is a very small time frame for improvement. Like the fact that he was able to shave off 15 moves to solve in 1 month, insane. And I'm actually not surprised that he didn't improve much because he's not comfortable with his solutions yet. Yes, his solutions improved. It's going to take a couple more months for him to become comfortable. But once he gets comfortable, he's going to drop his times like crazy. And that's what a lot of people don't realize with improvement is, I feel like there's 2 phases. There's like the learning new things phase, and then there's the grind phase. And the learning new things phase is just all about just making yourself more efficient and like, I guess, improving your flow. And then the grind phase is just getting more comfortable with it and improving your TPS. And that's like, a lot of people don't understand that about improvement. And even myself as a coach, sometimes I don't understand that. I'm like, gosh, like my solves are better move count wise. why am I not solving faster? I'm just like, all right, just take a chill, Caiden, solve for a couple more weeks, improvement will come. And it has came. It's just, it's hard. It's hard spending lots of time on cubing. It's a hard thing.
Yeah, I get you. I also learned a lot through the boot camp because I'd never done it before. So there were a lot of bumps. There were a lot of, oh shoot, I meant to record this thing and I didn't. Oh, I meant to put a notice up about this and I didn't. And everyone was really understanding of that. I have a whole bunch of feedback. I spoke with about a third of the people on Zoom calls at the end of boot camp and just said, hey, what sucked? What do I do better next time? So if I do it again, which I hope to, there will be a lot of improvements to how it runs. So I would consider it a tentative success right now. It was
Nice.
pretty fun.
Yeah, that's great to hear. That's super cool. The idea of like a cubing boot camp is just super cool, and that's cool that you were able to like capitalize. And I also have another question about it. Like, who do you think who had the biggest time drops from when they first started till like the end of the boot camp? And not like improvements like move count wise, because like that 15 move count drop was insane. But who had the biggest time drop?
Yeah. In terms of time, let me think. Probably Owen. Owen Gilder or Glider. I forget how you spell his last name. He's a kid from Tennessee. He came in averaging right about 10, like high 9. And he wasn't consistently planning cross +1. He had a bunch of little bad habits that could have been improved. And he just put in the work. He did like 200 slow solves a day. He tracked every single one for finding hunting U moves, finding mistakes. Like we made a plan for, here are all your bad habits. You're going to do this many slow solves a day, and you're going to write down this slow solve, I had this success or failure. This slow solve, I had this success or failure. And he just did the work. And then he came back 2 weeks later and he sent more videos and he was like, man, I was averaging 100, like 9.8. I just got a 9.1 average of 100. Wow. And then it was like, oh, well, you're having this finger trick mistake and this one and this one and this one. We could fix those. And he was like, I'm going to go fix those. And going from 10 or high 9 to low 9 in a few weeks, I think was probably the most obvious huge improvement.
Yeah. And like people might say like, oh, that's only like 1 second, 1.5. No, that is huge. Like that is really good improvements. Shoot, I lost my train of thought. I was going to say something about improvement, but I lost it.
It's also totally on him. He crushed it. I was there to just say, hey, this is cool. This is cool. Maybe work on this, maybe work on that. The improvement came from him. That was the biggest thing about boot camp that I wish I knew how to communicate better to people is if you join boot camp, the point is a place for you to train. I cannot make you faster. And if I give you information, it won't magically make the thing that you're struggling with easier. It will just hopefully guide the work you do to be more effective.
Yeah, which makes sense. Also, I regained my train of thought from earlier. A lot of people that I've realized from coaching have the information to get faster. Like most people who average 16 can easily average 14 or 13 with all the same information, just changing how they solve. Like they might be trying to go for too fast of turning and they just need to slow down and look at, and just doing that, they can just like drop their times. And it's just about changing it up from how they're solving. And that's why I think like coaching and like the boot camp is so important. Having someone else taking a look at your solves and being like, all right, just switch this up and you'll literally just drop a bunch of time. So maybe Owen was in that position where he was easily able to average 9.1. He just didn't know what to specifically do. Like, oh, if I just plan cross +1 every time, 9.1. like average. So yeah, it's cool seeing people improve that quickly.
Yes. I'm also really excited to travel with Tingman. We are going to do a couple of vlogs together. I think we're doing something in Houston, and then Tingman and I and my wife are all going to go to Disney World and the new Universal Studios park together. And I'm hyped because I'm a huge theme park guy. So I have all our stuff planned out. We booked the hotels. We have the lightning lanes and the express passes, and I know all the routes and all the ways to optimize it. And Tingman dug up these old photos of Disney World from his childhood where he is in a bunch of different places in the parks. So we're going to recreate these pictures and we're going to make a cool vlog out of it, I think.
Dude,
so that'll be really fun.
That's hype. I mean, I love theme parks. Like that's going to be a cool video, two, a cool experience for you. And yeah, that's awesome. Disney World is a fun place. I don't think I've been one time to Disney World and I was 3 years old, but I've been to Disneyland a couple times. I went to Disneyland last when I was like 12, but, yeah, that's awesome. That's going to be a fun time for sure.
Dude, I'm really, really excited about it. I had a couple of questions about current event stuff with cubing. So we haven't spoken since the world record average and single got broken. So now ZB on top for average, and we have sub 3 on single. How do you feel about both of these records?
The ZB for average was, I'm frozen a little bit, but for average, that was definitely, I definitely saw that coming. And I told people that like weeks before. I'm like, Shwani's going to get world record average. And like Chris Mills also predicted that on the millisecond. And I completely agreed. And people thought I was crazy. And then he had that breakout Monkey League match. And then he broke
I've been saying
world
that
record
since October as well. It wasn't like, it didn't take a genius to see that one coming.
Yeah. And like comparing Yiheng and Shwani solve side by side, like Yiheng obviously has insane turning, but it's like he like has to have no pauses and like incredible turning for him to get sub 4s, which he's able to do consistently. But Shwani doesn't even have to have insane turning. Like there's multiple solves where he'll have just like mad lockups and get 3.9s, 3.8s. Like so his room for improvement is so much higher. If he like just like I guess got like better his finger tricks are good, but just maybe like had a better cube setup so he didn't lock up as much, or better turning accuracy, he could like honestly like completely honestly like he could drop the world record down to 3.5 average, because he was having like really bad lockups on like certain solves, not during world record average, but just in general on solves where he would get such good times. And ZB is just like, in my opinion, it's just objectively better at the highest level. I don't know if it's objectively better for everyone. Actually, it's not objectively better for everyone because it's just such a huge time commitment. I know that for a fact. But at the highest level, I think it's just definitely better than CFOP. I just don't see any way that Yiheng can come back and start being better than Shwani all of a sudden. Because Shwani, like, I don't even know what
Did you watch the most recent Monkey League match?
Okay, yeah. I know Yiheng did beat Shwani. I think
rolled Shwani in that match, dude.
Yeah.
It was not close.
Yeah, that match was pretty bad. I was like, dang, so that sucks. So I think right now they're equal. Shwani might be more consistent, but like Shwani had a terrible day that day. Oh, also talking about Monkey League, you saw the Maddie and Timofey match, right?
That was tough.
I know that. I feel like I could feel Maddie's pain. Like, it was so hard to watch. But like even Timofey too, like they both struggled so much.
I felt a little bit bad, but also from talking to Maddie, it sounds like he really does not practice very much given his school schedule. So I think some of it was just shifting life priorities starting to show through, which isn't horrible, but that was not a great display from anybody.
Yeah. Like from the post game match, it seemed like he didn't really care that much. Like it didn't like, I mean, obviously it did affect him, but it didn't seem like it like really hurt. He's like, yeah, if I just practice 4 pad, I'll be fine and I'll win the next match. Like he did not like seem like it shook his confidence at all. He's just like, bad showing. Everyone has a bad showing, which is such a good mindset to go into it. Like, and just like you said, he was like, yeah, life's getting busier, so he doesn't really care that much.
Yeah, his level of emotional investment into cubing is really interesting because he is so naturally gifted. He is able to improve really quickly and maintain his skill without a ton of work. So I think at this point he has the accomplishments that he wanted to have, and now he's doing it for the love of the game. And he probably makes enough sponsorship money that it's a chill part-time job. And he has his mind on bigger things now. So that's totally fine. Power to him. I hope to connect with him while I'm in New York next week. We'll see what happens.
Oh yeah. If he visits the cubicle, you guys make some content together. That'd be a cool collab. Collab part 2. But and then like coming back to the Schwani Yiheng match, like Yiheng just rolled Schwani. I don't know what happened to Schwani during the match, but I think as long as Schwani can just have better turning, because his turning was bad during that match. If Schwani can improve his turning, I think that's like the one thing Yiheng is just like so much better at. When Yiheng is on with his turning, he's way better than Schwani. And then compared to everyone else in the world, it's not even close. But if Schwani can have close to what he has, what Yiheng has, yeah, I think Schwani's going to be able to just like run away from him and lower the average world record by so much.
Yeah. I am a little bit less bullish on Schwani than you. I think that he is very, very good, and he definitely has more potential than Yiheng. But cubing is a sport, man, and Yiheng has a lot more of the fierce X factor, I think. And like Max Park is a great example of this. Max Park, for all of his prime, had this just win factor. He would show up to a major and he would just get the job done. Worlds was a great example of that, where he just like 2 years ago in 23, he just showed up and did the job, and it was insane. I think Yiheng has some of that. We saw that in the head-to-head in Guangdong Open, right? And until I see a case of Zhang doing the ridiculous clutch factor stuff that I've seen Yiheng do multiple times, I don't know what to think.
I mean, I feel like looking at their past performances, Schwani has been beating Yiheng a lot more than Yiheng's been beating Schwani. So like,
yeah, definitely.
I mean, when they're that
this
close,
is a vibes-based take, not an objective facts-based take.
Yeah. That's a good take. Like, I could definitely agree with that. But then I guess my personal favorite take is, I think, like, as I said, Schwani's way better. I just think given enough, head-to-head stuff, eventually Yiheng's going to take a couple off of Schwani, just kind of like how he did in Monkey League. And I think that Schwani's improvement, because maybe it's just me, but I feel like, I mean, Yiheng obviously is very fast, but I feel like he hasn't improved much because he's been at like that like low 4 level for so long. But it seems like Schwani's still improving and he's hitting that low 4 sub 4 more consistently than Yiheng is.
Yeah, both are crazy good. The guy that
Insane.
I want to see show up more is Theodore. Theodore also has that interesting X factor. He has enough solves that he just does so well. Like the world record, obviously. But some of his 2x2 averages, some of his 3x3 averages. Anthony put a comment on one of Theodore's videos a while back, and he said, "I'm so glad this kid found cubing. He's just made for it," or something like that. It shows that Theodore. And I think the world record was really cool to me because it was this great example of somebody who just has the raw talent to pull it off. How long do you think until we get another sub 3 or beyond that record?
My guess is April. I think we're going to get another sub 3 in April. That might be soon. And I think it's going to be a kid from China. I'm not going to guess any names because I just don't know. But I think like any one of the like top 5 from China. Well, I guess like anyone in the top like 20 in the world could get sub 3 technically. But in my opinion, I think someone from top 5 from China is going to pull off a sub 3. And it's not going to be world record. I think it's going to be 2.9 or something like that. What do you think on that?
I mean, it's just luck, but I am pretty... I feel like Yiheng has to get the end-all solve at some point in the next 6 months. He just gets his crazy cross into 1.8 F2L into PLL skip, and he gets a low 2. And that just ends it. Theodore's solve does not feel earth-shattering to me with the pace that Yiheng has been on so many times. If I had to put money on it, I would say that Yiheng gets the insane solve sometime by August. Like I would give him 5 or 6 months of more attempts, but he has to get the nuts one, right? That's my
Yeah.
thinking.
I agree that the favorite to break world record is definitely Yiheng. The favorite to get sub 3 first, I don't know yet. And I agree that Yiheng's going to get the end all solve. I think he has the best F2L in the world, and then plus turning combination. Shwani just has like the good ZB last layer. You know, Yiheng gets PLL skip. You said by summer. I don't think it'll be that soon because I don't know. Just based off of vibes, I'm not feeling it yet. I'm thinking either winter of this year or spring of next year, which is like a year. But this, like, it'll go by quickly. And soon enough, we're going to be like, dang, we haven't seen like an insane like single from Yiheng yet. And then it's just going to happen. I feel like it's just going to happen. And we're going to be like, wow, that was crazy. So that's my opinion on it.
Yeah. Okay. I'm the sub 3 record though. It did kind of make me go, man, this does feel like the nail in the coffin for the high level of 3x3 being a record focused event. It felt like the last record that seems even somewhat beatable. And now it has to shift toward a competition day event, which means that my interest in 3x3 is now going to be bottlenecked to how interesting top competitions are to watch. So
yeah. And I agree.
Eventually.
I agree with that. Like watching top competitions will be more interesting than looking like for records. And I don't think world record single is going to be beaten for a while. So we have to look at like championships and what I think those will mean a lot more than they've meant in the past. Like one thing Maddie mentioned in a podcast, I don't know if it was with you or he's done a bunch of them in the past, but he talks about how him and his family, their goal is championship wins besides records, because you always, if you are, NAC 2022 champion, which is what Maddie was, you will always be the NAC champion. Whereas if you get world record, you could lose the world record. So yeah, kind of a thought there.
Yeah, that was with the West Coast Cubing guys. That was on Cubers Live.
Oh yeah, it was with Manu,
with Manu and Chris Choi and Carrie. That was a good one. I liked that one.
Yeah, I like that one too, for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Couple more things and then we'll probably wrap it here. How you alluded to feeling a little bit frustrated earlier. Do you see yourself getting faster at cubing, or are you kind of at the level that you think, I'll maintain this, I'll cube for funsies, and then life will move on from here? The last I talked to you, you seemed very optimistic, and this time you seem a little bit more unsure.
Yeah. So to preface before I say this, I am very happy. I love my life, and I'm probably one of the happiest people you meet. But now we're going to go into why I think that I've been mad about my cubing improvement. So I would say, like, as I mentioned, all of January and February, I didn't do much solving. And last time we talked, I was so confident in my ability to become sub 6. And then life just happened. And I feel like I've just been stuck. And I feel like I just can't improve whatever I do. But I definitely think I'm going to get faster. I 100% believe it's my mindset. Last time we talked, I was in such a positive mindset, and I'm a very positive person in everything I do. But as of recently, just for cubing, I've been pretty negative. But everything else in my life, I've been pretty positive. And as a result of that, I haven't been improving, but I actually do think I've been improving. I've just been believing I'm not improving. And I've been looking at every situation where I haven't been improving, and it's like a feedback cycle where I'm like, oh, I just got a bad solve, or I got like an 8-second average just now. I suck at cubing. But I do definitely think I'm improving. Like, I'm getting way more sub 6 average of 12s, and I'm getting really close to sub 6 average of 100. I think I got 6.1 a couple weeks back, average of 100, which is crazy for me. I haven't been able to get close to that recently. I know if I put in the work and I stay positive, I know I will become sub 6. I know I have the skill level, because when I'm like solving good and I'm able to inspect well and recognize ZB, I'm sub 6. But that's like when I'm hitting flow state. I think I can get, if I really, my life depended on it and I was able to practice optimally and I was so positive, I think I could get to low 5. Like, you might think that's crazy, but my mindset has been so cooked recently, and that's really what's been holding me back from improvement. So I had a really good conversation with just one of my buddies. I have friends over all the time. We have a hot tub and we'll have late night conversations. We'll just chill in the hot tub. And one of the conversations he had was, so much of your mindset and everything in life dictates your performance. And I was like, man, that couldn't be more like true. I'll give this example. So I said I tore my labrum in my shoulder, and I didn't start weightlifting again because I play football and I lift weights every day for football practice with my football team. I didn't start weightlifting until about a month ago. And for reference, before I tore my labrum, I could bench 225 pounds. When I got back to lifting, I could bench 135. I was so much weaker. I lost all the muscle in my shoulder.
That's an insane drop. Holy cow.
Yeah, really bad drop. So first week, terrible. Second week, really bad again. I was like, what the heck? I'm not improving. Next week, 165 pounds. Next week, 175. And then next week, 205 pounds. And basically the last 3 weeks, I've been improving so much in my weightlifting and I've gotten so much stronger. Like I put 30 pounds on my bench in 1 week, which is insane.
Yeah, the regrowth is crazy.
Yeah, and I'm super close to being where I was before I tore my labrum. And I'm so positive, and I'm I know I'm going to get stronger. And because of that, I've been getting so much stronger. And my mindset is so good when it comes to weightlifting. And my cubing mindset hasn't been good. So I realized that a couple of days ago when I was talking in the hot tub with my buddy. And so I basically trying to rewire my brain to be more positive when it comes to cubing. Yeah, I think one thing is we've all focused on the Chinese child takeover. And that has really this sounds funny, but it's really gotten to me where I really believed okay, it's just so over. But if I just practiced and was really optimistic, I believe I could be top 10, top 5, top 3 in North America. But we'll just see where life takes me. I'm not guaranteeing this is going to happen. This is just if the stars aligned. But I don't know where my priorities are at the moment. If I want to focus more on football, focus on YouTube, or focus on cubing. But that's where I'm at. And yeah, I'm feeling... I think I'm feeling a lot more positive. I'm honest, and this conversation has made me a lot more positive towards my improvement because I've been very negative towards my improvement recently. So that's where I'm at.
Yeah, I got you. Well, cool. We'll see what happens.
What do you feel about that?
I think it's natural because momentum creates a lot of positive mindset. You had an unrealistically excited mindset and now you're not seeing the results as fast as you wanted to, which is normal. So you kind of just have to ask yourself, given the fact that the next stage of the grind will be slow and not have results, is the other side worth it? And just honestly answer that. I hit that already. And I didn't know what it would feel like until I was in it. And then once I got in it, I had to evaluate it and go, no, it's not worth it. For me, not for everyone. There are other things in life that I say it is worth it, way more than other people. So you just kind of have to do that on your own. And there's no real way to make that decision other than you as a dude just saying, I'm going to do this and going for it. It's what separates a lot of the stuff you're going to end up doing over the next few years, frankly, is bumping into a hard thing and going, is the result of this hard thing worth it to me? Do I actually want that? And if it is, just deciding to do it and keeping your head down till it's finished.
Yeah. And one of the hardest things for me is, so I know sub 6 is possible. I don't think I'll get sub 5. I think I could in a perfect reality, but I don't think I will. Eventually I probably won't. And that's the hard thing. I'm so close to sub 6. I can't quit now. I have that's my brain. I'm 5 years deep into this. I have to get if I got sub 6, I feel like I could just chill, cube for fun and never worry about it again. But the fact that I'm not there and I'm so close, stresses me out. And I'm running out of time. I'm going to be 18 years old. I'm going to be unk. I can't improve anymore, which is such a funny mindset to have. But that's definitely one of the things that is probably making me trying to go so hard and also kind of holding me back is I know that sub 6 is the last milestone that I really want. And then I think I'll be content, I don't need to be top 100 in the world. I just need to get this one thing. That's all that means so much to me. So that's where I'm at.
Yeah. Well, the last thing I would say is don't train as if you're almost there. Train as if you have way longer to go. I don't know if your weightlifting coaches have told you this, but the cue that helps me when I'm lifting weights, when you're getting to those last sets where you're almost at point of failure, what I tell myself in my brain is do this rep as if I have another one after it. Do this rep as if I have another one after it. Because when you're in the middle of a set, each rep, it just feels the same. You're in a groove. You get more tired. Your form starts to give. You start to do something stupid because you just want to finish the last one, right? That's so dumb because the proper form trains your muscle better, gets you more of the growth that you want. So on that last one, which is the one where you're barely making it and you're actually at the point of failure, do that one on the way up and the way down as if there's another one coming after it. So don't train for this like you're crash landing at the end of a long journey. Train for it like you're still running and you have more progress to make after it. And then if you hit the milestone, that's great.
Yeah.
And then you can just stop fully. But I don't think you need to change or get into a desperation mode because the milestone's close.
Yeah, for sure. And that's me being more realistic. In my delusional mindset, of course, I want to try and push it further than just sub 6. But being realistic, if I hit that would make me happy. And I know it's going to be a long journey. I'm not saying like, oh, I'm going to get sub 6 at my next comp. Like, I don't think I am. I think it's going to be many, many months. So just gotta push through the grind. Just keep grinding it out.
Yeah. Cool. Well, then last question I ask everybody. What aspect of cubing gives you the deepest joy?
Yeah, I love this question because it's just really awesome. We already mentioned this earlier, but the impact I'm able to have on people, and that mainly comes from coaching and from making videos. And that's why I'm so passionate about both of those things. And I love going to competitions. I love the human interaction. Man, I'm like getting a little emotional for some reason, but yeah, cubing's really changed my life with all the social interactions I've been able to have. And sometimes I'll just get like random comments on videos like, man, this video made my day. Just watching every time you make a video, it makes my day. Or, man, the impact you've been able to make on the community from your videos has like helped so many different cubers, and that brings me the most joy, and that makes me so happy. So yeah, I'm getting emotional.